Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I would like to call this meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. The reflection tonight will be provided by Mr. Johnson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Westside Elementary School.
Yeah,
All right, Mr. Johnson.
Everybody wouldn't mind standing for a second. We should, if you take a look at the great map of the United States, I'm not going to do George Carlin, but it's kind of white in a lot of places, and we should give thanks that we don't have that white stuff on the ground. We lucked out this week, we lucked out last week. So let's thank the God of our understanding for being merciful to the people in Florida for the great weather we have, even though it's not that great. And we'll have a moment of silence, please. And just one more thing, hopefully your prayers will have us make decisions that affect the children of the school district in a positive way tonight. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was amazing, Westside. Thank you. Mr. Pender.
So thank you, Westside. When you started the pledge, I said, wow, they started it was a little slow to start, but they came in strong with the pledge. So thank you for leading the pledge tonight, and thank you for coming out, parents. Thank you for bringing them and always being there for them. So we'll do announcements.
My name is Jacob here. I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Lily Kolb, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Lola Walk, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Zoe Kekovich, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Emily Yvonne, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Laurel Kreisman, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Kenneth Lewis. I'm the lieutenant of the Safety Patrol.
My name is Joseph Klein, and I am sergeant of the Safety Patrol team.
My name is Reese Mayhood, and I am in 5th grade.
My name is Josephine Oaks. I am in 5th grade, and I am the sergeant of the Safety Patrol team.
My name is Amelia Vina. I am the captain of the Safety Patrol team.
My name is Ethan Stray, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Caden Jenkins, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Quinn Boisel, and I'm sergeant of the Safety Patrol team.
Great job. Thank you, Westside. You guys did a fabulous job. And if you've never been at Westside, it's like a small little family over there. It's really a great environment, great place to go to school. And we'll now have our Westside Spotlight.
Good evening, school board members, Madam Chairperson, and Superintendent Pinder. I am Dana Kublik, the very proud principal of Westside Elementary, and this is my assistant principal, Dina LaPlatney. You have already met 14 of our 21 Safety Patrol team members. They are under the direction of Mrs. Rhodes, our 5th grade, one of our 5th grade teachers, and our SRO, Deputy Mormando. They not only do an amazing job helping to keep our campus safe, but they serve as role models for our young tigers. This team is involved in many activities on our campus, as well as the community throughout the year. They held a school dance, led our students and families in participation of National Walk to School Day, and participated in the Christmas parade in Brooksville. In April, they will complete a service project in the community and will go on a field trip to the Sheriff's Office to learn about careers within law. Students in our theater program are in rehearsals right now for their presentation of The Little Mermaid Junior on May 14th and 15th. Through our Performing Arts Specials class, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students are working on set design for the play. We are very excited about our new book vending machine purchased using a grant from the Education Foundation, along with funds from our Color Run. Students use PBS coins earned through positive behavior to vend a book that they get to keep. Students also earn book coins through the Accelerated Reader program. The joy on our students' faces when they get a book is priceless. An initiative new at Westside this year is our collaboration with Springstead High School's Teaching Academy. Mrs. Mala's students visit for a full day once a month and are paired with teachers to work with students in our K-5 classrooms. Everyone loves when they are on our campus.
So we have a basketball program that consists of 30 students and 4 coaches that occurs during the day at Westside, and it helps expose students to organized sports before they begin middle school. Students learn teamwork, communication, responsibility, eligibility, and accountability, and are held to the same expectations as the secondary students, such as maintaining their grades, attendance, and their behavior. A community sponsor provided the uniform shirts and the game balls. The program follows the 6-game schedule and uses the middle school game rules. There will be playoffs, and then we have a championship game on Friday, March 13th, that the students are really, really excited about. The staff have noticed that this program has not only helped them to improve their game skills, but also their behavior and decision-making, their attendance, and their overall engagement. Additionally, one of our teachers started the Westside Spirit Club for 4th and 5th grade students. These students are excited to cheer on our basketball players during their games. They also attended our Publix Math Night last week to help pump up the participants and bring some excitement to the grocery store. Outside of the cheers that they're learning, the students create posters to hang in the hallways at Westside and bring Tiger Spirit to our campus every day.
Focusing on family engagement, we held our first Winter Wonderland event in December. Following this very successful event, Mrs. Cochran, a 2nd grade teacher, has planned 2 more family events. One this coming Saturday, families will work together to create a leprechaun trap, and in May, they will work on a Mother's Day project. We also have a school-wide event scheduled for the evening of March 10th, where families will be treated to a free dinner and get to learn about their child's assessment data and collect resources to use at home to help their child with academics. Thank you for your time and allowing us to showcase our wonderful school.
Great job. Thank you. And I believe the motto at Westside is Westside's the best side. Yes. Thank you. They would like to know what time for the basketball game.
2:30.
2:30. And that's on 3:30? 3:20. All right. Perfect. Thank you. And now we're going to have Westside Elementary School employee recognition by Mr. Ellerman.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Pender, community members, students, faculty, staff, and honored guests. At this time, on behalf of the Hernando County School District, I would like to recognize the following Westside Elementary School employees for exemplary service with the district for more than 30 years. Accepting on their behalf is Principal Dana Kublik of Westside. Michael DeMuro, in recognition of 30 years of service. Robert Straminsky, in recognition of 30 years of service. Each honoree will receive a Live Life in Crescendo by Stephen Covey and a 30-year pen, as well as a certificate.
Thank you. Let's give a round of applause one more time. Thank you. Thank you, Westside. You may leave if you wish. Great job. We'll move on to item number 1, 26-3613. Approval to adopt the agenda dated February 24th, 2026. May I have a motion and a second? And we're starting our meeting off with technical difficulties. Stay tuned.
I'll motion.
Okay, so we're going to do a verbal. So we have a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Please vote. Shannon, Ms. Rodriguez.
You need a verbal vote.
We need a verbal vote, correct?
Well,
Yes.
Mr. Jones. All in favor?
aye.
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 Aye. And that passes 5-0. Do we have any elected officials in the room who would like to speak tonight? No? Okay. We'll move on to our student representative. Item number 2, 26-3614, student representative Jasera Abdul Rahim from Springstead High School. Share an update of related of activities and events with us, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This week we're talking about school celebrations. Chocachati celebrated their top seller for the recent fundraiser, Tegan, by making her principal for a day. Pine Grove students who made learning gains were able to pie their teachers and principal. Sunco celebrated their students with top attendance. Here are some of the district competitions. Many of our high schools' FBLA chapters have had multiple wins in the last few weeks. A number of schools held their history fairs, and the district history fair is this Saturday, February 28th at Wikiwachi High School. Athletic wins in the county. Both Wikiwachi and Springstead's girls basketball teams are district champions and are advancing to the Sweet 16 regionals. West Hernando Middle School's junior varsity and varsity boys basketball have been having a great season, including wins against Fox Chapel Middle School last week. Springstead's cheer ranked nationally. Explorer K-8 boys basketball is undefeated, and girls flag football has entered the playoffs. Hernando High junior Joanna Duran earned a medal, placing 6th in traditional lifting Class 2A state championship. Celebrating the arts. Fox Chapel celebrated student art contest winners representing my chapter in color. Powell went to the Florida Vocal Association Solo and Ensemble Festival. All the students who went received ratings of excellent or superior. Congratulations to everyone. Academic achievements. Challenger K-8 recognized their newest star readers. Central High School celebrated 660 students who earned honor roll, principal's list, or superintendent's list for quarter 2. CTE certifications in AP. 8th grade culinary students at Powell Middle School earned their ServSafe Food Protection Manager and Industry certification, a 90-question exam that also earns them high school and college credits. Many of West Hernando Middle School's students took their ESB, their Entrepreneurship and Small Business Certification exams. On February 20th, the Hernando High School awarded students who passed an advanced placement exam with cupcakes. Celebrating generosity. The Wikiwachi High School Teaching Academy received a generous donation from Hernando County's retired educators. All of the valedictorians and salutatorians for high schools have been announced. Springstead salutatorian is Sophia Lamb, and the valedictorian is Haley Erb. Nature Coast salutatorian is Zachary Pekanika, and valedictorian is Liliana Robles. Central salutatorian is Autumn Hernandez, and valedictorian is William Morales. Wikiwachi salutatorian is Wyatt Richard, and valedictorian is Ashim Martyr. Hernando salutatorian is Layla Smith, and valedictorian is Adam Erdman. We have a fun and new attendance initiative. We are calling all Hernando County High School students. 15 students from each high school with 90% attendance or better will be selected in a drawing on April 30th. Students selected will ride to school in a luxury limo beginning the week of May 4th, courtesy of Hometown Limousine. Thank you for listening.
It was an awesome update. I appreciate the time you take in putting in all the photos and information to share with everyone. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to item number 3, 26-3610, recognition of Fox Chapel Middle School student by Mr. Ellerman. Mr. Ellerman?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Pender, community members, students, faculty, staff, and honored guests. At this time, on behalf of the Hernando County School District, I would like to recognize Fox Chapel Middle School student Jamie O'Connor for her selfless actions in ensuring the safety of another student. Your willingness to step forward in a moment of need reflects integrity beyond your years and serves as an inspiring example to our school community. Thank you for leading with kindness and showing that doing the right thing truly matters. And for those of you who don't know, Jamie was integral in helping rescue another student in distress while on her way to school.
Not just any student, a special needs student. She stepped in to help.
Jamie, if you'll come forward and we can all give you a round of applause. We also, sorry. Thank you. So on behalf of the board purchased her a gift. We also got a gift for, the school board got her a gift for the bus driver and the resource officer. So, yeah, thank you. I don't know if you can maybe give this to their, thank you. I think we're gonna come get a photo too.
And could I see you for just a second? So I have to use a microphone so people can hear me. So I want to congratulate you. Being a middle school principal for 27 years, I understand middle school students and I understand your leadership in what you did. So thank you for doing that. I have this certificate for Jamie, suitable for framing, and I also, everyone is after these pins that I wear. Like, everybody tells me they want these pins, and I haven't given them to anyone. So I'm going to give you the superintendent's pin to wear. Thank you.
And at this time, we're having more technical difficulties, so we're going to have to take a short recess. So I'm going to call for a recess at 6:22 p.m. Stay tuned. Thank you. We'll call this meeting to order from recess at 6:29 p.m. We'll begin with item number 4, 26-3479, recognition of the February Hernando School veteran by Aaron Ellerman.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Pender, community members, students, faculty, staff, and honored guests. At this time, on behalf of the Hernando County School District, I would like to recognize the February Veteran of the Month, Jacqueline Muncie. Jacqueline began her 20-year military service in 1998, completing Marine Corps recruit training at Parris Island, South Carolina. She served across the globe, assigned to duty stations from Tampa to Japan, primarily in supply administration. In 2005, she returned to Parris Island as a drill instructor, where she trained recruits to become Marines. In 2012, she was deployed to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Upon return, she achieved the rank of First Sergeant. In 2018, after serving a tour of duty stationed in Quantico, Virginia, First Sergeant Muncie and her husband, Master Gunnery Sergeant Muncie, retired from the Marine Corps with almost 50 years of combined service and moved to Brooksville. A year after retiring and settling into their new lifestyle, she returned to college to pursue a lifelong dream of being an elementary teacher. After graduating from St. Leo in 2020, she joined the Brooksville Elementary family. At this time, R.J. Enman, principal of Brooksville Elementary, would like to share a few words.
Good evening. After hearing her journey, what stands out the most about Jacqueline Muncie is that she just didn't come to Brooksville Elementary, she chose to stay. She completed her internship there, she student taught there, and then she officially joined our BES family. She began in 3rd grade, and when I asked her to move to 5th grade last year, reluctantly, she embraced the challenge with professionalism and heart. But what makes her impact even more meaningful is that she lives right here in our school zone. This isn't where she works, this is her community. These are her neighbors, these are the families she sees outside of school. That kind of connection creates a deeper level of care and accountability. Our students benefit from that every single day. This year at Brooksville Elementary, our theme is the one where we make a difference. And when I think about Jacqueline's journey and her impact on our students, I can't help but think her episode title would be The One Where She Chose a Community. Because she did, she chose Brooksville Elementary, she chose our students, and she continues to make a difference right here at home. Ms. Muncie, thank you for investing in our kids, our families, and our community, and Brooksville Elementary is better because of you.
Ms. Muncie, would you like to say a few words? Okay, no problem.
Well, you have to come up to get your.
Except in the classroom.
Let's give her another round of applause, please. Thank you for your service in the classroom and your military service. We'll move on to item number 5, 26-3582. Approve the proclamation number P26-004, Newspaper and Education Week 2026 by Mr. Ellerman. Can I have a motion and a second? All right, Mr. Ellerman, please Please read.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Pender, community members, students, faculty, staff, and honored guests. At this time, on behalf of the Hernando County School District, I would like to invite Rachel Kingdom from Central High School to read a proclamation recognizing Newspaper and Education Week on March 2nd through the 6th. We are honored to have Ms. Kingdom join us this evening as she is an integral proponent to the value of the Newspapers and Education Initiative. She has been awarded several distinguishments throughout her career through the initiative, including being recognized as the 2025 Tampa Bay Times Newspaper and Education Educator of the Year runner-up. We are also honored to have several representatives from our local newspapers joining us this evening, including Vince Stefano from the Suncoast News, Jody Pushkin from the Tampa Bay Times, and Rocco Maglio from the Hernando Sun. Ms. Kingdom?
Okay. Whereas research tells us that the best way to help children discover the joy of reading and become lifelong readers is to involve them early and often. And whereas research helping a child learn and love to read improves students' chances for success in school and beyond. And whereas research shows the students who learn using the newspaper as an educational resource are more likely to become lifelong readers and informed and engaged citizens. And whereas Newspaper and Education is an international program that encourages the use of this daily newspaper as a living textbook for students from primary through adult education levels. And whereas the Tampa Bay Times and the Hernando Sun newspaper and education programs serve educators, students, and families by providing classroom newspapers, companion materials, and instructional support. And whereas Newspaper and Education Week is commemorated and celebrated annually during the first full school week in March. Therefore, be it resolved that the Hernando County School Board is pleased to commemorate Newspaper and Education Week 2026 and encourages students to read the newspaper daily in school and at home to enhance and enrich their lives, and adopted at the regular session of the school board meeting held on this 24th of February 2026.
Thank you so much. Would you guys like to come up and get a picture before we vote? Anyone else from the newspaper would like to come up and get a photo? Come on.
If you need me to take a picture, Vince, I'll take a picture or whatever.
Vince?
No?
Following your lead.
Okay. I think we all should probably.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a photo first.
Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We really appreciate every year this recognition. Just to give you an idea of, what this does for the students, this past year we gave 25,000 papers, thereabouts, to the school system. One of real popular with the kids is the Powell Growl. Every about 5 times a year, 6 times a year, something like that. They get their own school newspaper in our paper. So there's 4 pages we dedicate to the Powell Growl. Also, the Wiki Wachi Buzz comes in, a couple times. It's harder actually with high school because they have so many requirements. They have a very hard time doing, anything outside of that. So that was actually an idea that my wife had when she was reading an older, like we read some historical newspapers, and she saw a newspaper there where the school had basically a takeover where they could get a few pages with the local school information, about like what was going on in the school. So we started that about 4 or 5 years ago now, and it's been very successful. Along with, in every newspaper we have a teacher's guide that we have a lady, Sarah Nation, and it has basically the pertaining whatever they're called. Basically the HE 912 or whatever, like the standards. Yes, the standards that apply. Yeah, and so, so teachers, when they're teaching that, they can actually know exactly, so she has a bunch of ideas for them, and we do that with every newspaper that we print. So she creates a teacher guide with the standards already in there. And I brought you some papers that have the Powell Growl in them. So you guys, it's in the Hernando Living section, so the second section, middle, and you can pull that out and do that. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our students love writing the Powell Growl. They really do. Thank you. Would you like to speak too?
Yes, my name is Jody Pushkin. I'm with the Tampa Bay Times newspaper and education program, and I just want to thank you for this recognition. We love working with Hernando County teachers. Rachel is one of our favorites. And we just want to thank you for your support and partnership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Mr. Elliman mangled my name. I'm Vincent F. Cifuto. I write for Hernando Today, which is the weekly newspaper that is actually produced by the Tampa Bay Times. I live in Spring Hill, so I'm their man up here, and I spend a lot of my time going to government meetings and covering events. I recently covered something at J.D. Floyd that's going to be on the front page of our paper, because I also do page design and layout of the paper. I'm a triple threat. I do everything. And newspapers, I never really even considered being a journalist until I went to college, and that was in 1988. I started going to college, and for about 30 years now, I've worked in journalism, mainly as a copy editor and page designer. I never left the office, and now, of course, I'm here doing really what I always dreamed of doing in journalism, covering government. And I know people sometimes read my stuff, and I know they get angry. They send me emails telling me where I've gone wrong, and we always try to correct. But, kids, I think if kids are exposed to newspapers, even if it's on the web. I mean, the web is the way newspapers are going now. But if children see their parents reading the newspaper, then maybe they might pick up that habit themselves. And I would like to point out that Hernando Sun, my competitor, they recently won several awards from the Florida Society of Newspaper Editors. They're a good paper. I read them, and competition just makes us better. And sometimes I bump into their reporters at events I'm at. So, I think that, it really is, it is a career. It is a good career. Our little chain of newspapers is growing. We're expanding into other counties now. And we're trying to bring the news. There isn't a news desert out here in Hernando County. You've got 2 weekly papers, and we really try to tell the stories of what's going on in Hernando County. And I hope that you all read the papers, our paper, Hernando Sun and Hernando Today, and thank you for responding when I have questions and reading my stuff, even if you don't particularly like it. And I have a great time, covering what's going on here. And I feel proud. 50 years from now, long after I'm gone, people maybe will look up on the web and say, oh, wow, there was a newspaper here. So thank you very much. You all have a good night.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Board, any discussion? Okay, please vote. And that passes 5-0. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 6, 26-3615. Approval of the minutes from the informal workshop and regular school board meeting of February 10th, 2026. Can I have a motion and a second? Any discussion? Please vote. And that passes 5-0. Moving on to item number 7, 26-3508, public hearing and final approval of Neola Policy 8451 head lice. This item was tentatively approved at the January 27, 2026 board workshop. Do we have any white speakers forms? We have none. Okay. Can I have a motion and a second? Any discussion? Please vote. And that motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Item number 8, 26-3616, citizen input on agenda items, green form. Are there any green forms? We have one. Mr. Myers, please read the instructions for this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is an opportunity for the public to address items on the board agendas for this meeting. The agenda for this meeting is located by the entrance to the boardroom. To speak at this time, you should have already completed a green citizen input speaker form, also located on the tables at the entrance to the boardroom. You should indicate the item or items you wish to address on this citizen input form. The speakers who wish to address general matters not on the agenda this evening should complete the pink citizen input form. The opportunity to speak on topics not on the agenda will be provided later in the meeting. If you have any attachments you wish to share with the board, please provide them to the board secretary prior to speaking. Each speaker will have 3 minutes during the segment of the agenda. Speakers will be called by number to come forward by the chair. Prior to making your remarks, please state your name and address for the record. Inquiries or comments made during citizen input may be followed up and reported to this board by the superintendent or staff thereafter. Those are the instructions.
Okay, may I have speaker number 1? She will be speaking on agenda item number 12, 26-3600.
Good evening. My name is Tina Vieira. I live at 11274 Sage Thrasher Avenue, and I am speaking in regard to the overnight trip for Nature Coast Technical High School students to attend the FBLA State Leadership Conference. So I want to start out first by saying thank you to all of my colleagues that helped me get this field trip packet finalized and just submitted for it to be reviewed here tonight. I do want to kind of comment on some of the process and how arduous it is. I feel like there's some aspects to the field trip process that are just unnecessarily difficult, and I would encourage the board to potentially revisit some of the process and maybe form a committee that is involved or comprised of all stakeholders, because I don't necessarily think everyone understands how difficult it is to complete these packets and make sure that everything is done. This particular trip alone, I have taken several times, and this year, given there is a little bit of a difference because of the time crunch, which is probably something that has to be acknowledged and addressed differently than how we do other field trips. But this year was honestly horrendous, and to be completely honest, one of the breakdowns that I had, which I had so much support from my colleagues and my administrator on, was really due to the fact that I was facing the situation of the students not being able to attend. And for me, that's just a non-negotiable. We can't take opportunities away from students because we are making the process just so completely difficult. So I really encourage the board to review the process and potentially form a committee that has other stakeholders involved, maybe some people at the site-based level that can give some input to how we can make this more efficient, because I had to fill out that packet so many times, and it was sometimes for silly things and sometimes not. But when we have 4 schools that are going to the same conference and we're all facing different challenges, even though we have the same information, it just doesn't make sense. And there has to be an easier way to do it, because people like me are not going to want to be sponsors of student organizations if it's going to put so much extra on us. And it needlessly did so. So if you take anything away from this, again, please consider forming some type of committee or asking some type of input, because there's a lot of things that I know like my secretarial staff can suggest that might make this process a little bit easier. But just to even get it on the agenda for you guys to review it was far more difficult than it needs to be. Thank you.
Could you actually, were there a few that you could explain on that made it difficult?
Okay,
Some
so
things that maybe
one of the things is I don't have access to Skyward, and I still find that to be completely confusing and ridiculous, honestly. But I don't have access to students who are not on my roster in Skyward. So I have students that are involved in this student-based organization that are not necessarily in my classes. So one of the reasons that I had to redo some of the paperwork was because somebody's name, I only know them as Jackie, but their name in Skyward is Jacqueline, or they have multiple last names. Well, I don't have access to that information. So I can't even put down like emergency contact information, which then makes me have to go put more work on to a secretary and say, hey, can you fill this out? Which they have their own job to do. Every time that there was some type of revision, I would have to redo packets or redo pages of packets, but those pages required signatures. I'm in a classroom all day. I can't run around and gather signatures that I already got. The time crunch for this one, this particular event, and in the past, it's been just as stressful, not necessarily as bad as this year because the competition for state is a little bit closer than it has been in the past, but we don't find out who qualifies until the end of January. So we can't start that packet and we can't do it with validity until we know what students are even qualified to attend. But if we don't know that until the end of January, and the turnaround time from the state organization is very minimal, we don't have time to complete an entire packet, get everything done and approved and sign off at the school-based level, so then it can be put on the agenda here before we have to start making payments for things. So that's probably one of the biggest struggles with regard to this particular competition. And originally, I was told to put it on one packet, which would kind of put it in line with the same philosophy as we do with sports, which would make sense. There's some sports that they don't necessarily get to go before board approval because there's no turnaround time. You qualify for, an Elite 8 and the kids have to go overnight and they have to go. So there's a different process for that. And I almost think that things like this should maybe fall in line with those sports, and maybe the sports packet should be modified to be sports and competitive events, because this isn't a sport, but it's the same time constraint where we don't have the time to get all the paperwork done and get it on submitted for board approval before we have to start paying for things.
Understood.
Can I
let Ms. Rodriguez
first?
go ahead.
On Skyward, Mr. Pinder, is there a reason? There's been several other situations that teachers should be able to access all of the students in the school. Is there a reason that for Skyward only your students can you access?
So with Skyward, we have different security levels, and you have students that are tied, and that's how they access them. Other staff have school-wide access, so it's a security access that they have. I can talk to TIS and find out with security if there's people that are doing clubs or sports, if they could have wider access or not. But I can look into that. But the secretaries and the people in the front office do, but I get your point.
Right, it puts a lot more on them, especially when they have multiple packets that are coming at them, because I'm not the only one that's planning a field trip, right? So that was, one issue. There was issues with regard to busing and how that was communicated.
Do you think you could maybe send us an email with
Absolutely,
just a few
yes.
little things, and then we can talk?
And even just kind of venting with people on campus and kind of going through the process. There's so many different suggestions that everybody had of maybe we could do it this way that would just make it more efficient and kind of streamline the process. But
again, one of the things that is causes so much undue stress is the time constraint for this.
Understood.
Because of the fact that we don't have student information. We don't know who. I mean, the packet for state doesn't even come out until the end of December. So like, there's no turnaround time, and to get this to come before the board, it just makes it really. And there's other stuff, and then again, I can put it all together and kind of email you guys, but. Those are just some of the things I can think of off the top.
Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez, do you have any more questions for her before she sits down?
If you would, reach out to me and let's find a time that I could meet with you and we can sit down and go over it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your time. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Come back. Ms.
No, I don't
Duval
have a
had her
question
light
for
on.
Tina.
Oh, no question. Sorry.
Just have a comment.
Okay. Ms. Duval.
There is a group who worked on this, and yes, there's been modifications. Yes, there is a timeline. The timelines are very generous. And if in your case the students haven't been decided upon, all you do is put on that form, names will be provided before the trip leaves.
Okay,
so I do not want to get into a drawn-out discussion on this, okay? But we will look at it. We have continued to look at this the entire time.
And while I understand what you're saying, of putting that, one of the reasons why I had to redo the packet was because of the fact that the bus was being paid for by transportation, and I put that in the line item, but then there was a discrepancy because they were saying that things didn't add up, even though there was a negative on the $900 for the busing cost. So what I got denied and I had to redo it because the numbers weren't lining up. But so if we're scrutinizing to that level, then I don't feel as though I can just put a placeholder of names will be provided later, because like by the time I got four packets done, there was no more cost even associated for the students because we had fundraised already.
Finance goes by a set of rules that are required, and those listings have to be accurate. So if it was kicked back, you work with finance on it to figure it out. They have people over there who are very willing to work with any field trip on the finance side of it, the budget sheets.
I don't know all of that, though. Like, I'm in a class teaching.
I understand that, Tina, but I also know that you can ask. You've called me before when you've had situations. You can always call me, and we can work these things out. Yes, I know you're in a classroom. I know this is a change, but it is a work in progress trying to make it easier. And the checklist tells you exactly what to do in order.
100%, and I followed that to a T.
Okay. I would still like you to email us if you want, to let us know some suggestions, and reach out to Ms. Rodriguez if you want. Thank you. All right. Moving on. Nope, that was just the citizen input on, right. Need a motion for that? I think so, right? All right. Do we have, we're moving on to the adoption of the consent agenda.
Public hearing, are we good for a vote for public hearing?
We already did all that. Mm-hmm. All right. Does anyone have any items to pull from the consent agenda? Board members?
No.
Ms. Bonzik? Okay. May I have a motion and a second? And then a vote.
We don't have any items pulled.
No items are pulled. And that motion passes 5-0. Now we move on to our citizen input on general topics, pink speaker forms. Do we have any pink speaker forms? 26-3617, citizen input on Hernando County school issues on which the school board customarily takes action. Mr. Myers, if you please could read the instruction for these items.
Thank you. This is an opportunity for the public to address any general topic of relevance to the operation of Hernando County Schools. To speak at this time, you should have already completed a pink citizen input speaker form located at the tables at the entrance to the boardroom. If you have any attachments you wish to share with the board, please provide them to the board secretary prior to speaking. Each speaker will have 3 minutes during the segment of the agenda. Speakers will be called by number to come forward by the chair. Prior to making your remarks, please state your name and address for the record. Inquiries or comments made during citizen input may be followed upon with the speaker and reported to the board by the superintendent or staff thereafter. Although the board encourages citizen participation, please understand that no immediate action will be taken on items presented during the public comment portion of the meeting. If follow-up board action is required, then the matter may be placed on the agenda at a subsequent meeting in accordance with school board policy. Those are the pink input speaker instructions.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer. May I have speaker number 1, please?
I'm Beverly Coe from Brooksville, Florida. Good evening. All 50 states have language in their constitutions requiring a system of free public schools which offer educational opportunities to all children regardless of economic status, gender, race, physical or mental challenges, or ideological leanings. President Trump, Governor DeSantis, and most MAGA-adhering governors are openly embracing the far-right Christian Nationalist Heritage Foundation's Project 2025's agenda to destroy the public education system and replace it with private and charter schools that prioritize a strict conservative agenda. This entails rigid compliance to dogmatic national patriotism that ignores historical realities. Critical thinking and higher-level reasoning are not emphasized, and I know this because I belong to the Heritage Foundation and receive all of their literature, as I believe in knowing my enemy. DeSantis and the Republican legislature's agenda starts with systematically starving the public education system funding for public schools and diverting it to alternative schools. The Florida Policy Institute and the Education Law Center estimated in school year 24-25, approximately $4 billion went to vouchers for private and charter schools and homeschooling. This amount will grow. Imagine what a public school could do with that money. Now, with DeSantis' proposal for the elimination of state property tax, he has delivered the final death knell to public schools. Also on the agenda is to discredit the importance of the traditionally well-educated teacher. Approximately, in Florida, 52% of public ed teachers have a master's or above, but DeSantis' plan is to allow alternative certifications, such as allowing subject matter experts to teach without a college degree. Even now, approximately 1 in 5 Florida teachers must have a second job to make ends meet. This, the governor's weakening of the teachers' unions, the fear of firings or even arrests for disobeying policies, and the state prioritizing parents' rights over teachers' rights have added to the critical teacher crisis shortage in Florida. I would like to know, and I'm sure many others would also, who on this board supports DeSantis' and the Heritage Foundation's agenda for Florida schools. It is my opinion that if you do, you have no business being on a public school board. And that's like putting the foxes in charge of the hen house. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker number 2.
Good evening, Lisa Masario. I live in Brooksville, and I'm currently serving as president of Hernando Classroom Teachers Association. Tonight I wanted to talk about community and values. We as a collective need to be the ones who stand up for our values. First and foremost, I want to say, Jasira, we support you and the excellent job you're doing as our student representative. As one leader to another, I respect and believe in you. As a community, we need to assess our values. Whether we are here to work for a common good for our school district and our school district community and support each other, so we're here to do that or we're not. There's no in between. I think we all need to reflect and commit to being people who interact respectfully, sincerely, seriously, and ethically. Similarly, we will not let the criticism and disparagement of unserious and unethical people or political entities detract from our purpose here. My comments from a couple of weeks ago bear repeating so that people may make the connection with several situations happening here locally and statewide. Defending public education, educators' rights, and our students' rights to a high-quality public education is never a frivolous endeavor. Full stop. This work that we are doing has students and their well-being, their achievements, and their futures at the center of it. And I question the moral compass of anyone who doubts or disparages that. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker number 3.
Kimberly Mulrooney, Brooksville. I want to give you a little story. There was this young girl. She's full of life, vibrant, energetic, and decided to take on the world, so to speak, as any middle schooler could. She tried out for sports. She did this, she did that. She really believed in herself. Well, we're going to fast forward to her 7th grade year, and some boy decided not to say some nice, or decided to say not some nice things. And so what was done was the whole class was spoken to. We're going to fast forward to her 8th grade year. She tries out for some more sports. She makes it. Then she's bullied. Other girls saying, I don't know how she made this team because she's fat. Now that young girl's got an eating disorder. And again, nothing was done. It was swept under the rug. Mass text messages went out to parents that if it happens again, you will be off the team, instead of following protocol. Well, that young girl it's a true story here in this district. And I say this, and I bring this forward to bring awareness. Eating disorder can kill children, just like any other form of, any form of suicide. It eats away your body, breaks down your heart, your muscles, everything. And I say this as an awareness because as adults, we are here to do what's supposed to be what's right. There's policies and procedures in place and they're not being followed. And now I am seeing a young girl, not that vibrant young lady she once was. So I urge everybody to please keep your eyes and ears open. When you see something, you say something. When you know something is going on, you follow the proper protocols because things like this could be prevented. And I ask, as parents and as society, we as parents need to stand up and say stuff as well. When we see something, we need to say something. I've been given permission by this young lady's mom to come forward and speak about this situation. I didn't give no names, no nothing, because we want this to be a learning experience too. We want to know that that's not okay. So, as a community, I say thank you. I want to say I appreciate our teachers, our staff, everybody that works for our kids, but we just got to keep doing better and keep pushing forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker number 4. She has handouts for everyone, so I'm going to pass those before your time starts. And then for you, just for the board members.
Hi, I'm number 4, also known as Carla Johns of Brooksville, Florida. Good evening, board. I'd like to briefly begin with the facility concern at Hernando High School. The front office has had major exterior light outages for over 5 years. In the last couple of years, I have harassed poor Mr. Mark Johnson here over 3 additional lights that have been broken. It is a 45-minute fix. It is dark in that front office, and poor Miss Sellers actually needs to see when people come in. So I was hoping we could get that fixed after spring break or within spring break time frame. It's dark in there, and I understand there's a time restraint, but 5 years is a bit too much. I'd also like to address the concern regarding policy and process. Last year, the board approved the use of chaplains in our schools, and the district policy allows students to initiate religious conversations with teachers, paraprofessionals, and substitute teachers. On February 27th, a substitute teacher employed through Kelly Services, Ms. Holland, was escorted off of the Central High School campus after responding to the student's question about God and autism. Ms. Holland was removed without first being asked for her account, without being informed she was under investigation, and without the policy being followed as written. I was personally present on the phone call when it was stated the reason for her removal was shared, and the allegation, as later described, does not align with the facts. I respectfully ask that this situation be reviewed carefully and fairly, with the attention to due process and the consistency in how policy is applied. This is especially important when it comes to individuals' reputation and livelihood are affected. I'd also like to address that we've got a person in Hernando County who decides to target. He targeted our student representative, a 17-year-old. He is 21 years old. This man has attacked multiple people, women, and it needs to be taken into account and legal action needs to be taken. This boy is on public record attacking a 17-year-old minor. I feel that the board needs to take this further because I've been a target of this person. Multiple teachers have been a target of this person, and I feel that maybe we need to come together and take him down because he's got to stop. He is harassing everyone, and he's got to be stopped. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I could. I had, Ms. Johns, I had spoke to Mr. Cragnelli before this meeting started. I've been assured that over the spring break, those lights will be repaired. Apparently, the first contractor who got that job went out of business or reneged and walked out of it. They had to send it back out for bid. It will be taken care of. You know I am on top of that.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Speaker number 5.
Luciano Vignali, Wekiwachi, Florida. Good evening, Chair, board members, and Superintendent Pinder. I'm here today to speak about the current impasse between the district and the Hernando County Teachers Association. My intention is to shed light upon the hardworking teachers, staff, faculty that deserve to be respected, fairly compensated, and the opportunity to negotiate better wages with the district. When negotiations stall, it creates uncertainty for staff, families, and most importantly, our students. We must remember that prolonged impasses affect morale, retention, classroom stability, and public trust. Our educators and employees deserve clarity, and our students deserve consistency. I respectfully urge the board to support our educators, recommit to good faith negotiations, consider mediation or creative compromise, and prioritize long-term district stability over short-term positioning. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and that concludes our citizen input. And now we're going to go over Mr. Myers. Do you have any closing comments?
Yeah, just one, if I may. There was a speaker who talked about property tax relief and the impact that would have on the school districts. Well, a couple things. Any sort of proposal would have to go on the ballot and approved by the voters, and at 60%. The other thing is every bill that I've seen so far exempts school districts, from any sort of property tax cuts. So that's an encouraging sign, I suspect.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson, any closing comments?
Yeah, I have a couple. In regard to impasse, since we're in impasse, we are not allowed to discuss and comment at all on any negotiations, as I understand it. or any situation. So we can't say anything, and that's the position the union put us in. So I'm not going to say anything. The union is the one who declared impasse, not the district. I want to read something I saw in a Pineapple report that we all get, which is talks about Florida schools in general. I'll pass out a handout to the rest of the board. It starts, Florida's broader push for a AI Bill of Rights already extends well beyond K-12 classrooms. The Senate bill would establish rights for residents interacting with AI systems, including mandatory disclosures when a person communicates with a machine rather than a human, and clear expectation for how the companies handle personnel and biometric data. If enacted, governmental entities will be barred from entering contracts with companies tied to certain foreign countries of concern. The late added education provisions, adopted on Wednesday as the bill cleared its final Senate committee stop, would create the state's first top-down framework granting parents the right to opt their children out of instructional use of AI as the technology rapidly enters Florida's K-12 classrooms. Under the amended measure, public and private schools that give students access to artificial intelligence instructional tools would have to notify parents before issuing login credentials. Schools must identify the tool, explain its educational purpose, and describe how it will be used in the classroom. The notice must also explain how parents can opt out and review their child's account information, guaranteeing them the ability to decline participation. In public schools, districts would have to provide an alternative assignment that allows students to meet comparable academic requirements without penalty if a parent opts out. The amendment bill also shifts more responsibility to technology vendors. When the student accounts are created, AI companies would need to establish a mechanism for parents to review their child's account information and activity within the platform. The proposed legislation carves out definitions for AI instructional tools as a district regulatory category in Florida law, separating them from consumer-facing chatbots addressed elsewhere in the measure. Lawmakers are acting as AI bursts into the classrooms across the state with little uniform oversight. A recent University of Florida analysis found that fewer than 1/4 of the state's public school districts explicitly reference AI in their student codes of conduct. And those that do focus mainly on cheating and plagiarism rather than instructional use. District-to-district policies vary widely. Some are toying with AI-powered tutoring or adaptive learning platforms, and others focus largely on preventing misuse. Other states have taken a patchwork approach. According to AI for Education, more than half have issued guidance to schools on AI, but most have stopped short of codifying parental notice and opt-out rights. The article goes on. These are the challenges that we face. These are some of the bills that are coming forward. I have a copy of the complete article for each of you on the board if you care to read it. And if you could pass those down, please. And I thank everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Ms. Rodriguez? Okay. Ms. Duval?
Mr. Kupchak gave me the information, maybe gave all of us, I'm not sure, the 2025-26 Winter Varsity Athletics Report Card. And they are now the following bit of information about the teams. The team GPA of 3.0 or higher. The high schools have 40 teams, 36 achieved a 3.0 or higher. So 90% of the athletic teams are doing really well. Wekiwachi High School, Nature Coast had 8 out of 8 teams with a 3.0 higher GPA. The girls' sport with the highest GPA average is soccer with 3.5. The boys' sport with the highest GPA average was soccer, 3.1. The individual team with the highest GPA was Central High School Girls Wrestling, 3.8. And the high school with the highest winter sports grade point average was Nature Coast with 3.3. So congratulations to the winter athletes for putting academics right in there with the athletics. That's all.
Thank you. Ms. Bonzik.
Thank you all for coming out, and I wish you all a good night.
Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez, are you ready?
Sure. So to piggyback off of Mrs. Duval, you're exactly right. The sports in our county have been doing phenomenal. The Weeki Wachee girls basketball team won the 4A district championship. This is the team's third district championship in a row. No other Hernando County team has ever accomplished a three-peat before. The Lady Hornets won their regional playoff game versus Seminole High School on Friday, February 13th, and then they traveled to Booker High School in Sarasota to compete in the Sweet 16. And Springstead High School was also competing in the Sweet 16 as well. So we had the same night, two high schools in our county both competing. So it was wonderful, and they went very, very far. So I am very, very proud of them. And also my daughter's on that team. So I have bragging rights. And then when it comes to, so I have a few things to say. So when it comes to bargaining in the union and the school board, Mr. Johnson's right on the fact that we cannot speak on it. But my opinion is that the union and the district are in alignment and that we both want to see these teachers make the money that they deserve. So I think that we're not far off when it comes to how we feel. And I think that their fight isn't against us. Their fight and our fight isn't against them. Our fight is really to give teachers what they're worth. And so at the end of the day, it comes down to what I had said last school board meeting. It's a money situation. That's all it is. And as much as, you know, somebody's value shouldn't be put towards a dollar and towards money, it's so shameful because really they definitely, for all that they do and all the hats that they wear and all the roles that they play, they are worth so much more than money. They're worth just an incredible amount. I think when you see NFL players play and you see all these sports and they make the kind of money that they make, to me, I think a teacher should be making that kind of money. I think that to me, that is something that everybody is so excited to see a player and how far that they make it. And rightfully so. I think it's neat and I'm excited to watch as well. But really the real hero, more than anything, is the teacher, that they get the opportunity to mold all of our students, all of our children. They get to mold and create what this child turns out to be. So I am always amazed day after day after day that I go into classrooms and that I am come alongside teachers to see what they do. And I feel like they're the hero. I look at them and I just hold them in such high regard and such high respect. And I have a hard time trying to figure out how they really make it all happen. I really think they have a cape. You just can't see it, but that cape is on somewhere. So it's an important job, and I'm so thankful to all of them. I definitely don't think I could do what they do. I couldn't do it as well as they, let's put it that way. I could try, but it would be very hard. It's a hard, hard job. So as a school board member sitting up here, I would love to be able to not be in this position as well. And I think something as important as the status of bargaining and the fact that the union did declare impasse, which like I said, nothing against us. It's just something that has to happen in order for us to try to negotiate and get where we need to be. But because they did declare impasse, it should have been shared with the board prior to the meeting if it was known, and it was known. So with that, it's been addressed, and this will not happen again. We need to have clear communication, and this was not acceptable. So as a board member, I feel that that was extremely important, and for us to have the knowledge up here to know that we are in impasse, and for us not to know that, I think that that is a detriment, and I think it should never happen. So we have addressed that, and I want to make certain that that never happens again. We should be privy to that information first and foremost. So there's that. But teachers, anyone who's listening, I believe in you and I respect you. I honor you, and I'm sitting in this seat because I actually work for all of you. Without you, I wouldn't have this job to be able to help and come alongside of you and help our children in this district and be able to make the decisions and the choices. So my job is being here to be able to help you and to walk alongside of you. I want to do a huge shout out to our incredible high school front office secretary, Mrs. Sellers. Mrs. Sellers, if you're listening, you are the heartbeat of our campus at Hernando High School. You're the calm in the chaos. You are that welcoming smile. Everybody, anyone who has the opportunity to have met her, to have spoke with her, she smiles through the phone. Have you ever talked to somebody on the phone and you can hear the laughter and you can see the smile? That's what she brings to every student and parent. She is the steady hand that keeps everything running smoothly. Your patience, your organization, and your kindness, Mrs. Sellers, does not go unnoticed. We're so grateful to all of our secretaries at all of our schools. But tonight, I just wanted to pay a tribute to Mrs. Sellers. Not that everybody else doesn't shine, because by far it's a difficult job and it's hard. And I think that so many people do a wonderful job. I do think that Mrs. Sellers, there are times that I go to many, many schools, and for the most part, I think we do a dynamic job, but there are some that I think at that moment, Mrs. Sellers could come over and they could shadow her. So she definitely sets the bar extremely high. So I'm very proud of her, and I just wanted to say that we're grateful to have her here at Hernando High School, and she will surely be missed when and if she's ready to go. And if she's ever ready to go, we're going to give her a hard time because we can't lose her.
Do you know that she was actually the tennis coach for a long time, and she'll work all day and still go to the tennis match to watch the students?
Hope she gets better soon. She's out.
She's out
with
sick.
with a severe cold.
Sorry.
I think all of us have that. If I sound the way I sound, it's because I've been struggling with this too for the last few days. It's been terrible. Also, for our students in our county, we have college, career, and leadership opportunities. To mention a few would be our Future Business Leaders of America, our Speech and Debate, and our Skills USA. Our FBLA team, those students are attending Hernando, Central, Nature Coast, and Weeki Wachee High School. They competed at districts in January, and all 4 of our high schools qualified to participate in states in March. So in March, if any of our students score high enough at states, they will qualify then to move on to nationals this summer, and that will be held in San Antonio, Texas. So they've done a wonderful job, and as a mom, I do get the right to be able to say that my daughter's in FBLA, and she scored first place on business law on the exam, so now we're off to Orlando next. And I'm telling her, please get first place again so we can go to Texas. So that will be a neat opportunity. These are just a sample of the opportunities our students have to grow and develop leadership skills, technical skills, so they can navigate college and career goals and aspirations. Our amazing teachers, which also are our sponsors, and parents make it happen. This board and district leadership team is committed to providing these opportunities. Another example is our budget for our ACE program, our Cambridge program exams, and our teacher training, and the International Baccalaureate exams. Both states and nationals will allow our students to not only compete in their competitive event, but also for them to attend sessions at the conference on leadership, college, and career readiness, and network with other chapters. So it's extremely important for us to have all of these programs and different things that the kids can find what's their niche and be able to get involved in, because it creates so much networking as far as being able to travel and speak, and they can just grow from it. So I appreciate all of the things that our district's doing. I think Mrs. Lastra does a lot of our programs. She's behind all of that, and it takes, you know, her and her team and so many people here to make all that happen. So we're extremely fortunate. And then last but not least, and I'll quit speaking, but I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and for all of your opinions. Whether or not any of us always are in alignment on certain things, we're all going to be different. And regardless of our viewpoints, just being here together to be able to make our district stronger, and for you guys to support us and come out and sit in these seats, it takes time out of your life and time out of your night. So it's very admirable to see you guys here and be with us and show that you care and you're concerned. So thank you for that. and I'm honored to be a school board member in Hernando County. And I just want to say I thank you, each and every one of you, for all that you participate in all of your roles. And I hope you guys drive careful tonight. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Jasera?
Good evening, everyone. For those who may not know me, my name is Jasir Abdurrahim. I am 17 years old and serve as the student representative for Springstead High School and the students of Hernando County. I was selected through a delegate and interview process and have spent the past year learning, listening, and preparing for this responsibility. I take representing students across our district very seriously. My role is to ensure students feel heard and represented. I work to stay connected with schools across the county, learn what's happening on each campus, and provide an update at the board meetings. Student leadership is about learning, serving, and making a positive difference. I am grateful for the opportunity to grow in this role and to support our schools. I want to thank everyone who was in support of me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Thank you, Jasera. Superintendent Pinder?
I got news today, and I'd like to thank the Hernando County Board of County Commissioners. I found out today that they voted to reimburse us for the hardening at Eastside Elementary of the cafeteria. So they voted to reimburse the school district for $1.2 million of hardening for that we spent in capital money for that. So thank you.
Can I chime in on that?
Yes.
So this was on our agenda to approve this money for Eastside to be a shelter, probably one of the first or second board meetings that we were on. And I thought, wow, how unfair that we have to pay, why aren't we splitting the bill? And I started researching and going through, and in that conversation, or multiple conversations, I reached out to Jeff Rogers, the administrator for the county, and he said, there's a possibility that you could get some of the money back. We could put your name on the list. It's not guaranteed. So that was, a year and a half ago, and we were awarded that money. So I think that's a great thing, the partnership. He worked with the district and was able to help us get that money back. So kudos. Okay. Thank you.
Mrs. Rodriguez talked about opportunities in Hernando, and today I had the opportunity to kick off Hernando Grown, which is going on at the Church of the Wildwood. We use that space. We bring the middle school students was today. Tomorrow will be high school students, and they get to see all the opportunities that are here in our schools in Hernando County and our community offers. So if you have a student in middle or high school, they're talking about Hernando Grown, ask them a little bit about that and what they learned today or tomorrow when they go if they're high schoolers. I think it was 8th graders today, and tomorrow is 11th and 12th. Okay. Also, it is close to the end of the 9 weeks, so students keep working hard and finish strong. And as a reward, after that, there's spring break. So I want to wish everyone a happy spring break, because we will not be here until after spring break for the next board meeting. So I just wanted to wish everyone a happy spring break a little early. Keep working, finish strong. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And I'll be short and sweet. I'm really excited about, we have a mobile engagement unit. It's a bus that they have remodeled, and this bus will allow us to go into different communities, and you do parent-teacher meetings, workstations, counseling, family resource, just to be able to go out into the community for parents that aren't able to come into our schools. We've had lots of support in the community to remodel this bus, to do the floors, the cabinets, lots of sweat and tears. The red ribbon cutting for this is going to be on March 26th, and I think that it's very important that we invite the community and show what we're doing. Since this bus is going to be out in the community, I hope that we're going to invite our community leaders, City of Brooksville Mayor, the county commissioners, even the Congressman Bill Aracas. He's very involved in our schools, and I think that it would be great to showcase what we're doing because the bus is going to be out in the community. So also the community would be great to come see the bus. All right. And with that, I want to wish everyone a good night. And this meeting is adjourned at 7:34 p.m.